Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to today's Community Success Hour. We are live on Zoom and Twitch for the first time. We've been hosting these on Twitch the last couple of months. We want to continue that for our Twitch audience, but also have the opportunities for those of you who registered for this as a webinar to take advantage of Q&A and things like that. So we're trying something new this time around. So wherever you're watching us from, thanks for joining us for
Hey everyone, my name is Ashley from the marketing team here. I'm just going to step in for Danny because it seems like he's having some technical difficulties here. But welcome everyone to our marketplace takeover. We're really excited to be joined here by a bunch of our creators as well as Nadia, who heads up the marketplace. So we're going to start over with Nadia. She's going to give us an overview of our marketplace as well as some of the really exciting new updates that we just launched. And if you have any questions or anything for our panelists here, please send them through the Q&A function and we can definitely get to those questions during the presentation. But over to Nadia.
Thanks, Ashley. One moment and I'll just share my screen and we can get started.
I'm back. Sorry about that, everyone. That's the joy of live streaming. I lost my internet for a moment, but yeah, we're here to take over the marketplace. Thanks to my colleagues for jumping in. And yeah, we're going to kick off with Nadia with an overview of updates there. Sorry about that little technical difficulty, and thanks. And go ahead, Nadia.
Awesome. Thanks, Danny. So hi, everyone. I'm Nadia Abassain, lead product manager for the Unqork Marketplace, and I'm really excited to be here today to chat with you a bit about what the Unqork Marketplace is and what are some of the exciting developments that we have on the horizon for creators. So while I know that many listening to this today are already longtime users of the marketplace, I'm going to start off with a quick overview of it for those that may not be as familiar. The Unqork Marketplace is the world's first no-code marketplace for enterprise functionality, and its mission is to help expand creator capabilities, accelerating time to market, and acting as a launch pad for innovation and inspiration while building an Unqork. The marketplace is built for creators and can be thought of as a creator's continuously growing toolkit for resources, with every listing solving for a real customer use case and each listing asset going through a rigorous review process to ensure it's leveraging Unqork development best practices around architecture patterns, user experience, and security. This ensures increased productivity and speed in enterprise-grade application development. And to dive a bit deeper into some of our listings on the marketplace today, so we have several different types of listings that help our creators to build faster. The first are applications, which are flexible out-of-the-box solutions that include industry-specific offerings like wealth onboarding for financial services or P&C product launcher for the insurance industry, as well as horizontal offerings like case management. Additionally, we have accelerators, which help to take application development to the next level in security, speed, and efficiency. These include snippets, which are small, reusable pieces of commonly used functions that can easily be dragged and dropped into your modules. Templates, which are customizable and reusable blueprints to assist with commonly used flows and features within an application. And integrations, which allow for easy use case specific API calls with our tech partners. And we're already seeing really amazing success in the time since we launched over a year ago. Our near-term focus has been on expanding the toolbox for our creators to drive increased application development speed and efficiency. Every listing we have added is a capability that we know solves for a client or partner need and is a set of capabilities that our creator ecosystem has been asking for. Because of this, we're seeing really good awareness and usage of the marketplace. 44% of active creator environments have installed at least one listing, and nearly 1/4 of Unqork creators have built with at least one marketplace listing. On average, creators are spending at least 2 minutes per visit searching for and learning about our listings and offerings. And we're also really excited that solution partners and client creators are driving majority of the usage of marketplace since the launch. Not only do we have great traction with the marketplace storefront, but we're also seeing fantastic adoption numbers from creators using the marketplace accelerators in their builds. Nearly 900 marketplace accelerators are being used in application development per month. This includes snippets and integrations being dragged into modules in the Unqork Designer, or apps where a marketplace template is the starting point. And the quote that you see listed from one of our SI partners reflects exactly the user behavior that we're looking to drive. When implementing new functionality, they go to the marketplace first as part of the app development process. So now that we have an overview of Marketplace, the listing types, and the value it provides for creators every single day, I'd like to shift gears to chat about some of the product goals for Marketplace this year, as well as a few of the exciting recent launches. This year, from a product perspective, Marketplace has been deeply focused on continuing to build upon the success and momentum from the initial launch last year. The team has been focused on building out a robust inventory of listings since last year, and in this current year has been really increasing the focus on the Marketplace creator experience as well, continuing to enhance the Marketplace for an experience that's easy and fast for creators to use and is personalized and relevant as possible to help continue to build out the habit of using Marketplace every time a creator is building an Unqork. Furthermore, with greater usage of the marketplace, we want to also drive and encourage greater engagement as well. So this can take a variety of forms, including creator feedback on listings, submitting listing ideas, and also greater partnership with Community Hub to list just a few of the possibilities. And this engagement leads into our publisher ecosystem goals as well. So while we want to continue to expand and optimize our publisher experience for third-party publishers and continue to bring them on board, we also want to introduce the longer-term possibility of creator-submitted listings as well in the future. Now, to get a bit more specific about what has been launched so far this year, the first item to call out is our recent launch of the Marketplace site redesign. So we've been listening to user feedback over the last 1 year since Marketplace's launch and have used it to further enhance the discoverability of listings and usability of the Marketplace. The redesign includes a completely new UI, as well as collections of listings that can be dynamically generated. So for example, you'll be able to see what listings are the newest releases, as well as which listings are the most popular or currently trending. There's also a greatly expanded header, new filter categories, and the ability to save filters, as well as a Marketplace news section that is integrated with Community Hub. And to better provide information on different listings on the Marketplace, there's also greatly expanded descriptions of the different listing types offered, as well as additional media assets on listing detail pages, such as image carousels and GIFs. Another big development is our Marketplace third-party publisher program, which is currently in limited release. So prior to this release, all the listings that were on the Marketplace were listings that had been created and published by Unqork. However, to really grow and scale the Marketplace and begin to create that foundation for a future publisher ecosystem, we've started to begin opening up the publisher process to other types of publishers as well. This release is the first iteration of that submission process for third-party publishers, and it really starts to set that foundation for us starting to incubate a small handful of third parties in the near term, and then continue to iterate on what's been built as part of this limited release to help support bringing on third parties in much larger numbers further out in the future. So to give some more info about the specific partners and listings that are part of this initial limited release, EY, one of our SI partners, has launched 2 applications. One is the Add Insurance Now application, which enables private travelers to request an insurance quote and purchase supplemental accident insurance. insurance. The second application from EY is a global resource tracker, which gives business logistics managers a view of global resources at work locations around the world at any given time, which is really critical for effective logistics, resource, and financial planning. Quantify is our other third-party partner who has launched an application. Their application, called Docify, is an AI-powered document processing application engineered to fast-track end-to-end document workflows while ensuring regulatory compliance as well. Docify provides routine document workflows, eliminates manual errors, and generates insights to prevent fraud for claims processing, commercial lending, mortgage underwriting, and more. So we're very excited to partner with EY and Quantify on this, and look forward to having this be the first of many partnerships in the future. Thank you. So thanks for spending time with me to learn all about the Unqork Marketplace and some of the things that we've been up to recently. We're really excited by the reception that we've received from creators and customers to date, and looking forward to coming back here in the near future to talk more about additional enhancements and exciting developments that will be making their way into the hands of our creators soon. But I'll hand it back to you, Danny.
Great. Well, sorry again about the technical difficulties, everyone. Hopefully we don't have that this time. I just launched a poll for those of us who are joined on Zoom here. If you saw the event page for this, you know that up next we have 4 different demos by our community members of specific listings on the marketplace. So one of the things we like to do for our success hour is to make it interactive. And one of the ways we do that is through polls like this. Is you get to tell us which of these marketplace listings are you most interested in, and then we'll spend our time and kind of prioritize those there. I'm seeing it's a very close race so far, as most people voting are interested in all 4 of them. So we'll get to that in a moment. But since I lost a connection during my intro, the other interactive elements of this is we have a number of my colleagues from here at Unqork, who are subject matter experts with all things the Unqork platform, as well as community SMEs with us here for answering questions. So we'll do some open Q&A here at the end, as well as after each section, the ability to answer any questions that you have. So I'm not seeing anything in our chat or Q&A about the marketplace right now. So we can go ahead and dive into the demos, but open call for questions that you might have about the marketplace, about these demos, and then later on anything about the Unqork platform that you might want to ask. So up first, we have updating multiple submissions, and that's going to be our first demo. And speakers, forgive me, since my technical difficulties here, just pulling up who is covering that topic. And it looks like that's going to be Nagarjun. So go ahead and share your screen and unmute yourself, and please introduce yourself for our audience as well.
Yes, yeah, thanks, Annie. Thanks for introduction. So today I'm going to cover, I'm sharing my screen. Let me know once you are.
And we just started seeing it. You're all set.
Okay. So I'm going to cover today this multiple update model submission. So in most of the places, we are updating one by one records, but Unqork is providing to update multiple records at a time. So first I will show you this UI section. So I created one POC for to showcase this one. So what I am doing here, so I already stored some of the data in schema. So these are the fields: student ID, student name, student marks, and student result. So what I am doing, so I inserted all the records into schema, and for all the records, student result is failed. For all the records, student result is failed. But what I am going to do now, so I'm just, so once I click on this start update multiple models process, it will automatically, if student marks is greater than 35, I'm updating those students result as a pass. So I'm just clicking on this one. Yes, so it's automatically updated these many records, it's automatically updated to pass if student marks is greater than 30. So what I'm doing here, I'm unable to close this header.
Looks like internet issues are plaguing us in both of us today. Sorry about that.
Yes, fine. So I'm
is it
able to
working
move.
for you now? Great.
Yes, it is working. So what I am doing here, first I'm creating by using this create multiple module submissions. I already added all the records into schema. So what I am doing now, so I'm first time, so whenever a user loads this page, right? So I'm just triggering this initializer. Based on this initializer, I'm fetching all the schema, all the student records by using this plugin. I'm just displaying that. I'm just displaying this all information by using this vgrid. So once we click on the start update multiple submissions process, what I am doing, so I'm triggering this data workflow process submission. So what we are doing in this data workflow, these are main data workflow, which we need to update, which we need to convert data into that particular API accepted format. So what I am doing here, so I'm once I fetch all the records from schema, right? I'm storing into this submissions hidden field. I'm picking this ID, submission ID. So these are submission ID. I'm picking submission ID and marks from that hidden field. I'm just renaming to ID. So what I'm replacing this as a underscore ID with ID. So I can explain this update multiple module submissions. This particular API, it accepts data in ID. So ID and remaining data. So whatever, suppose we have 10 fields, right? Remaining all fields we need to store under this data. So definitely ID is required to update all the records. So that is the reason. So I'm just renaming this underscore ID with ID. And next what I am doing, so I'm just checking this condition. If student marks is greater than 35, I'm just updating this student result as a pass. Otherwise, I'm updating that value as a fail. So that is this one. And I'm using nest operator here. So what I am doing by using this nest operator, so definitely we need to convert this data into this format. So here ID is a parent one and data is child one. So for this I'm using nest by operator. This nest by operator, it will automatically converts data into this format. So here I'm passing parent keys as a ID and child keys as a data. So by using this nest by operator, it's automatically converts data into this format. And later at the end, I'm using unwind. So I can show you what exactly all this it is doing from console. So here I'm just picking this ID and student marks, and I'm just updating, renaming this ID with underscore ID with ID. And after I'm just using this create with. So what I'm doing here, based on this student marks, if marks is greater than 35, I'm marking this student result as a pass. Otherwise, I'm marking this value as a fail. And at the end, I'm using this nest by operator. So this nest by operator, so I'm adding this ID as a parent. I'm adding this ID in parent keys and adding this data as a child keys. So once we are using nest by operator, right, data is added, converts automatically in this format. Here, if you observe, so this data is, these two fields under this data, it's another row. I want to fetch this data outside of this 0. So I'm using this unwind operator. So once we use this unwind operator, data is automatically out of this row and data is in this format. ID and remaining all the records is in data section. So once we have this all data, so this is the data which this particular API is accepting. So once we have this data, so I'm triggering this plugin update multiple submissions. So this is a plugin which we are using. So here I'm using update multiple module submissions internal API call. And we need to make this promote object array to top level. We need to enable this toggle button, and we need to pass that output. So whatever we are fetching from this console, right? So I'm storing this whole data in one hidden variable, and that hidden variable is submissions to update. And I'm passing the submissions to update data here. And also I'm passing this submissions to update data property ID and mapping. So once we added this output here, so what this internal API call is doing, so it's automatically updating all the records by using this API call. So if you observe here, for all the records, if you observe response. So all these records, this order data is updated successfully. So that's how we are updating all the records. And yes, so this is how we are updating all the records by using this update module submissions. Definitely we need to convert data in this format. So whatever I'm just showcasing, right? So first we need to fetch it, first we need to fetch this underscore ID values and convert it into IDs. And also later, definitely we need to use this nest way operator to convert this parent keys as ID and data section with remaining fields. And definitely we need to use unwind here. So then only we will get a desired output, whatever this particular API is expecting. So once we are providing actual data, it's automatically updated in schema. So we have this snippet in Marketplace. Just we need to download into our current environment. It's automatically added to our environment. So here we can easily find out that snippet. So I want to showcase one more thing in here. So if you observe here in query parameters, we have this replace data. So by default, this replace data is query parameter is false. So false means, so suppose we are in schema, we have total 4 records, right? So I'm just updating these 2 records only, student marks and student result. So it won't impact remaining 2 records. It just update only these 2 records. If we enable this particular replace data Boolean value as a true, so it's automatically removed these 2 records. It updates only these 2 records. It in schema. So once this value is true, in schema we will find only these 2 records. We lost these 2 records. So that's the use of this replace data. By default it's false. So if you want to replace all the data with current data, we will go with this replace data value as a true. Yes, so that's it from my end, Danny. So any questions in this?
Great, yeah. Any questions? Not only do you have our speakers here, but as I mentioned, our subject matter experts from our community. A number of them have joined us to help with Q&A, as well as some members of the Unqork team as well. And as we wait to see if there's any questions, I have some very exciting breaking news. So we have 4 speakers from our community in addition to Nadia today. And at the start of this, I would have said 3 of the 4 are community subject matter experts, but Nagarjun, who you just heard speak, was on the precipice of earning SME status. I just checked his profile. He's passed 20 answers on the Community Hub, and I'm sure he's earned 200 more points this month. So officially he is an SME as of this month, and so I'll take care of all of that. So please join me in congratulating him. This is very exciting. And so you have 4 of our top contributors from the community speaking to you today. So congratulations, very excited for you. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat or anything like that, but again, congratulations and thanks for both this demo and all of the answers and contributions you've given to our community so far.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, actually a question. So as I mentioned at the outset, we're trying something new. We're simulcasting this on Twitch. So hello again to our Twitch audience. Colleague tells me a comment or question from somebody on Twitch. Are the IDs, I'm going to put it for our experts panelists here, I'm going to put it in the chat for us. For those of you who might be more familiar than me, but are the IDs UUIDs? Can I use more URL friendly slugs or CUIDs for a better sorting? Anybody know the answer to that question? It's a little bit outside of my technical depth.
Yeah, I can hop in there. So the IDs that you see here are MongoDB object IDs that are automatically assigned by the database on the back end. You can just as easily create your own field and generate UUID for a more friendly GUID or random, you could do sequential numbering, you could do whatever you would like. So you could basically make any field that you would want as your unique identifier and instead use that to loop through. But I believe what you're showing here is just the default of how how MongoDB works in the backend with the object IDs.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew. That's a good example. As I mentioned, we have a lot of expertise here. That's why we do these live. I see another question in the Q&A here. So panelists, if you want to take a look at that, otherwise after our demos, we'll get to that. So up next, we have one of our newest subject matter experts from the community, Prajakta, who is going to be talking to us, I think, about the merge data tables snippet. So go ahead, share your screen, please introduce yourself, and we'll hop into this next demo.
Yeah, thanks, Danny. So let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Yep, we are seeing it. There you go. We're seeing Unqork now. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So I'm Prajakta. I've been working with the persistent system from 1 year, and I've been enjoying the Unqork configuration as well as solving the community questions. So I'll be explaining this merge data table snippet today. So you can find this data table snippet over there in your market as well as, okay, I cannot do this 1 minute. I think I'm facing network issues. Can I get my screen back?
Yeah, while you do that, if you want to stop sharing your screen and figure that out. One thing I forgot to mention due to the technical difficulties is one of the most exciting things about the demos you're watching today. Not only are these snippets and accelerators available on the marketplace to speed up your build, but all 4 of these marketplace listings in particular were built based on questions that were being asked on our community hub. So the Unqork team, our platform team, our marketplace team was paying attention to the types of things you're looking to accomplish as you build, the questions that are being asked. And we saw some trends, and so then developed these marketplace listings to address that. And then as Nadia shared some exciting developments recently with the marketplace around third-party publishing. There's an announcement on the community hub about that if you want to learn more about that beyond what Nadia shared, and the recording of this will be up as well. But it's super cool that these that you're seeing are inspired by our Unqork creators building, and then we deliver these listings to make it easier for you. Looks like everything's okay. Do you want to hop up, continue where you left off?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we can see the output of the merge data table snippet over here. So basically merge snippet we use to combine or to merge the different data tables and to give the output in a single grid. So you can find this table, you can find the snippet in your marketplace snippet section over here by searching merge. So this is how the snippet will look like in your configuration. So you can see, if we'll see the components, how it has used over here. So it is using the 2 data tables. First is DT personal info. So this table is having the columns name and age. Okay. And the next is another table, data table, which is DT favorite color, having the columns name and color. So in this snippet, we'll be explaining the 3 basic merge data tables or types. Okay, so that is intersection merge, inner merge, and outer merge. Here you can see in the configuration, we have the 3 different panels for each type of merge, and we can see the 3 different data workflows have been used. So I'll open this intersection merge data table, the data workflow. So here we are using this merge component, which is the merge, which is having the different 2 data inputs, that is DT personal info and DT favorite color. So the output of this merge will depends on the sequence or 2 data table inputs as well as the features that we have used over here. We are storing that output in this hidden component. That is for intersection, we have intersection merge DT. And that hidden is again given as an input to our view grid like this to give the results. So similarly for the inner and outer, we are performing the same operation, but the change will be only in the merge type. Here you can select it from the drop down. Here we have inner for the inner merge, and for the outer you can see merge type as an outer selected. So we'll one by one see the output and how these operations are performed over here. So as I've mentioned, like we have connected the 2 data table inputs to perform the merge. In Angular command, we can see this DT personal info and DT favorite color. So first intersection merge will combine the data of two different data tables having the same key. So the key over here we have used is name, so which is a common in both the data tables. So that's why using that key we have the records, like suppose name PK and name Roy. So these two records are common in both the data tables. So that's why in intersection merge we are getting the records, these two records, and we have combined their information and fields as well. Like here for PK we can see the name as well as the age from this data table and the color from our first data table. So again we can see for the DWF, this merge operator, we have this first data table which will call as a left, and the second data table which will call as a right. So based on these two, if we interchange their sequence as well, so we can get the different output for inner and outer merge. So again we'll see now inner merge. Here for the inner merge data workflow, we have the sequence of input port like this. First is DT personal info and second is DT favorite color. So again, we have used the same merge key, that is name, and the output will look like this. For inner merge, it combines the data from two tables, but unlike intersection merge, it also adds the data from another table to the first data table. Like left data table will have the data all the data of your left data table, and it will combine the data from the right data table, which is common in between. Okay, so for example, here you can see in this data table we have PK, Sai, and Roy. That is your right data workflow and data table, and this is the first data table, that is PK, Roy, and Tim. So the inner merge output is like this, which is having all the records of your left data table, that is PK, Roy, and Tim. And for PK and Roy, we have the same records in your second data table, right? So that's why it has combined the data with color parameter only. So inner merge has given you the output like this, which is the combination of your total left data and the common data from your right data table. So now we'll come to the outer merge. So this merge is usually used to separate the data having the not having the same key in both the data tables. Okay, so the output will look like this. Only we have got the Tim, right? So PK and Roy is same over here in both the data tables, but basically it will compare the data from your left data table. So the PK record is found in the right data table, and Roy is also found in your right data table. So we need to separate or give the output for the outer merge is Tim. So that's how you can see this like working of the three different types of intersection, inner and outer merge. If we go to this operator like merge, so we can have another different setting like renaming, which is replace, rename, and push. Again, in this setting, we have rows to keep first, last, and all. So to check this, I'll add another column over here, that is color. And randomly, I'll give the name as suppose A, B, and C. Okay, so now in the inner merge, what I'll do, I'll change this replace to rename. So let's see what we'll get. Okay, now you can see the data which we have received over here is A, B, C. That is the color data from your first, that is left table, we can see. So the personal info table is having this color ABC, and it has given you the output from left data only and not from the right data, right? So if we use the replace over there, Now we'll see this data which is common in both the tables will be replaced like this. So this first two records like PK and Roy name, the data is common in both the tables. So their color parameter is now replaced with the right data table values, that is blue and red, blue and purple. Like this, if we want to understand this different third feature like push. So again, we can see the output as the combination of two two outputs, and this will combine that output in the form of array and give you the result like this. So your inner merge will have the color with an array of A and B, A and this blue. Similarly, if we want to understand this another feature, that is keep rows only. So it will help you to keep the rows which we want to have in your data with the same match. So that is, suppose we have kept first over here. I'll change it to last, and for that I'll add one another we can say the submission with PK, which is the same name, that is match over here, and let's say the color for that will be the green. Now for the intersection, we have the first record as an PK blue, right? That is the same, but what we have done is we have added another record in your different table with two keys and same name, right? So it will combine the data and it will take only the last record of this DT favorite color. So you can have the record of PK24 and green. If we change again this into the last, you can see the same record. If you change again the first, and we can see the same record, that is you will get over here that PK blue. Now if we change it to the all, so just like push, you will get one array that is a combination of the two records. We'll see over here. I'll change it to all. Okay, save. Okay, so here we have received this as a combination of like array of these two matches, right? So this is how you can perform different configuration in data workflow for this merge merge component, and based on the input as well, we can receive the particular response for this two merge like three merge types, that is intersection merge, inner merge, and outer merge. Also for the input data here, we have used the data tables, but you can use the plugin data as well, like API and combination of API and non-API components. So the snippet will give you and let you like deal with the different data, and we can perform the merge on that. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, that's from my side.
Great. If you have any questions as follow up to that, please let us know. We did have a follow-up question, Andrew, to what you answered for us. I put in the chat here for our panelists. Follow-up questions about that, the different IDs, and you mentioned MongoDB, and so this question is: are users tied into Mongo, and is there any backfilling into options like Snowflake or PlanetScale if my legacy data is all relational? Is a question asked on Twitch.
Yeah, so data that's created directly in Unqork gets stored in our backend of MongoDB. We do have integrations with Snowflake and other types of systems like that. So you can create data inside of Unqork and you don't have to persist it in our backend. We can fully integrate with your systems as well. However, the Unqork platform doesn't natively sit on top of an instance of Snowflake.
Got it. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I know I've heard some customer use cases that have those Snowflake integrations and other things. So great. Well, next up, another one of our newest subject matter experts from the community and one of our top contributors over the last couple months. You probably know him by his username of NVP on the community, who is going to be doing a demo for us of the Verify Equal Values Marketplace listing. So NVP, take it away. Please introduce yourself as well, and excited to have you share for us.
Hey, thanks, Danny. Thanks for the introduction. And, as Danny mentioned, right, so people used to call me NVP, and my name is Nagenza Olurupalli. And, I have been working with HCL Technologies as a technical lead, and it's been, 1.5 years to 2 years almost working with Unqork, and I really enjoyed working with Unqork. So, I'm just trying to share my screen, and let me kickstart the demo for this particular session. So, yeah. So I hope everybody's able to see it, right?
Yep, we're seeing it.
Okay. Once again. So yeah, so as most of the configurators and SMEs who works in Unqork, right, they knows very well about this marketplace. So this is the place where we will find all this templates, right? So this marketplace.unqork .io, where we can see all these snippets. So not only verify equal values, every other snippets. The only thing which you need is you need a designer administrator permission to access this snippet UI pages. So as soon as you click on this install to the environment, and if you give the values, right, I mean the environment details, right, it straight away jumps into this particular environment, and it will whatever the environment it is. So right now I'm just showing for a training environment. So if you have if people are working in different environments, customer environments, right, so it will be straight away pushed to this snippet section. You can see snippet section over here, right? And as soon as you type entering as soon as you type the particular name which you have installed, right, you will able to see the snippet like this. So here in training environment, for our reference, we have multiple snippets over here. Right now today I'm going to demonstrate a very useful snippet everywhere, here and there. We will be using on our daily basis to filter out the this unique values and all. So this is the verify equal value snippet. This snippet is pretty straightforward snippet, where we can see a very small configuration. So I have just dragged and dropped one snippet over here, the verify equal snippet, so which has a view grid and a small text box and a button and then a data table. So let me show the data table which we have key values over here, and this comes out of the box. Like whenever we install this this snippet, right, we will get this key value pair, and these are the default values which we get. So the main aim of this particular snippet was to filter out the unique values. So right now on my screen you are able to see 7 to 8 values, right? So out of these most of the values are 10, right? So I'll quickly jump into the data workflow part, where we are doing the exact filtering. So this is the data workflow, where it exactly filters all these things. So here as an input, we are taking the data, the data table, which we have specified, or which was there already. And here in the unique component, right, so we are just going to specify the value. So here don't get confused when I quote the value as value, because if you see the data table, right, so you can see this was mentioned as value. So whatever the name it goes here, the same name has to be configured in this unique value. Okay, so which will try to pull out all these unique values. So, and it will try to give us the particular size. So right now in our case, we have almost 7 to 8 values, right, out of which we have 1 to 20 and rest all are 10. So when I execute this particular DWF, what it does is it will try to give us as an input, it will pass all the 8 values, and with this particular unique value, right, it will try to filter out all the unique values. So in our case, out of 8 records, we have only 2 records as unique values, like 120 and the 10. So right now, when the process gets kick-started and this data workflow gets executed, right, so here here we have 10 values, and here we have 2 values, right? So it will give us the size. So whatever the size we are having, right? So it based on the size, we are just triggering a formula over here, which says, if the size of that particular array is 1, then return true or else false. So this is pretty straightforward, right? So let me go to the UI and show you what exactly the snippet is. So forget about this one, ignore about this. And this is the data table which we have already specified in this view grid. So you can see this data, DT sample data. And if you go to this, you can see all these values, right? As soon as I click on go, it will kickstart the initiation of this workflow. So if I go to this go button, here we have configured it as an event, and here you can see the DWF check for unique values. So this is the same DWF which is getting executed, and let me go and click on go. So you can see this is giving a entire value. I mean, this is going to give whether it's a true or false. So as I showed you, right, in the formula, right? So if the count of this entire data section, like the unique values of this particular data table values is equal to 1, then we are going to specify true. In our case, it's not 1, it is 2, right? So that is why it is returning as that is why it's returning the result as false. So let me quickly go ahead and change this data table value from 200 to 10. Then here you can see all the values are 10. So which means when you take the unique value, right, obviously it is going to return only 1 out of 10. Every single value has 10 value, right? So which means we have only one single unique value. So if you can see, all these values got changed to 10, right? So now if I go ahead and click on go, it will just return true. So which will differentiate the unique values and non-unique values. So if you can ask me where exactly we will use and how to customize this particular snippet, right, then I can quickly, I have developed one small POC which we will use here and there in all the organizations, right? So every organization will have their own employee personal information book or address book, I can say, right? So where they will be maintaining all the values, I mean all the employee related data or the customer related data. Let's say if a customer, if I have an application of insurance, if I have an insurance application where multiple people will be coming to the website, and they will be having an inquiry for policy, premiums, everything, right, based on certain criteria. So all those data will be saved into the database, right? For example, so I have made a quote, like let's say I need a policy where I might opt for health insurance, and I have given all the my criteria, like all my details like name, age, and existing diseases, and based on that it will return the premium, right? Before giving the premium, there might go for multiple checks, and it will take some time for the insurance company to give us the result. In the meanwhile, I have submitted multiple requests, let's say 10 to 20 requests with the same details, right? So if you want to filter out all those values, so based on certain criteria, like let's say if every person will be having their own phone number as a unique number, right, or SSN as a unique number, right? So all this data will be pulled out for by using this unique key. So here as part of this demo, right, I have just created one small POC which is a pretty straightforward POC where I'm maintaining an address book, okay, address book of a employee or whatever it is. So they have duplicate values as well. So here my requirement was, if I start entering the value over here, like let's say if I give my name as Nagendra, and if I click on search, then if I found more than one result, right, then I have to show a view grid which should allow the person to select. Okay, if we don't have anything, like if we have only one particular result, then we are going to straight away display all the data over here in this particular columns, right? So let me kickstart this thing. So search. If I search here, I have only one record. So let me inspect here. If I go to the console, I have this one. So I have output from the plugin is only one result. which is why it is displaying all these values over here. So I have multiple entries here. So let's say I have John Doe record. So let me search. So all this, it is displaying a view grid with multiple values. So now if you see the same output from plugin, it will say 3 different records, right? So one, but in the UI, it is showing only 2 records because I'll jump into the filtering part later. For time being, just assume that we are getting 3 different records over here, but displaying two different records because I'm filtering unique values based on the SSN. So if you open the first record, right? If you see the SSN, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if I go to the last record, it will be the same, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And if I open the second record, then this record will be having a different SSN. That's when we are, whatever the value of our SSN, we have it in, John Doe name, right? Multiple SSNs with the same SSN, right? Then we are going to filter out only one particular value and we are going to display it over here. And similarly, this is the second unique SSN which we have, and we are going to display it here. As soon as I click on select, it will try to select the SSN for 2, 3, 4 and all. Else, if I click on this first one, right, it has to display all the records as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason why I have showed all these UI part is I have customized the same template, the template which I have showed over here, right? I mean the snippet ideally. I have customized that same snippet over here. So if I open the snippet, you can see the same configuration. For instance, I'll just switch here and there for these snippets. So this is the snippet which we have, and here we have input, unique, and then size, formula, right? So similarly, we have for our reference, I just made this console. Let me delete that console. So here you can see the same values again, right? Input, we have an input, we have unique. Under this unique, I have specified SSN, and here I have the size, and then formula over here again. So if a equal to 1, return true, else false. So you can see the same formula over here as well, right? It's true or false. So based on this true or false, what we have to do is we are specifying a node, I mean a decision node or a get node, where it will try to set the data, right? So if I have only one record, right? So let's say in this case, if I go ahead and type Nagendra here, which has only one record, right? It will straight away go to the upper node and it will set straight away, it will set all the results to this particular first name, last name and all. If else, if this condition is not matching, so if this A is returning more than one values, then it will be false, right? In the argument section, this will be false. So if argument is equal to false, then it will be going to the down node, negative node, I can say, where it will try to show it will try to display the view grid. So this is the view grid, based on certain manipulations and all. I did hide and show, but ultimately we will be using this snippet here and there for a lot of customization. This is just a sample which I have showed, but this is a pretty small snippet, but very powerful snippet where we will be using for almost day-to-day activities. So yeah, so this is all about the snippet verify equal values. That's all I have. Over to you, Danny. We can take questions.
Yeah, great. We're a little bit short on time and I'm not seeing any questions. So I do want to hop into our last demo from Manish, who's going to be doing fill to data table snippet. But this is a good example of the robust functionality that these snippets help you just kind of plug in. As you're seeing from all of the demos, there's a lot there. It's making a lot of complicated data workflow stuff much easier for you. So really encourage you to check out not only these on the marketplace, but others as well. Thanks as well, Nagendra, for showing us how to install a marketplace listing at the beginning of your demo. I think that was helpful for those who might be new to the marketplace. So Manish, I'm seeing your screen. Thanks for doing that. And why don't you jump in and talk to us about filtering data tables?
Sure, Danny. Thanks for inviting me. So hi all, myself Manish Gupta. I'm working as a solution architect and working on this Unqork platform since last 2 years for persistent system. So today, basically, since we are having a sort of time, so let's quickly cover this thing. So there is a this filter data table snippet that is new to the marketplace, and basically first we need to understand in what scenarios we can use that. And so basically you can see this is available as a filter data table snippet, okay, in marketplace. And if you want to see the documentation, you can just click on this documentation part, okay? And here either you can go into, it's taking time, go to snippet, and within snippet you can see this filter data table snippet. Okay. So you can see all the documentation around that, what is the purpose, how to configure one by one, okay. And yeah, so let's quickly move to how it would look like on the front end. So here, so basically if you go to the snippet part, okay, here you can see you can search filter, okay, and you will see filter data table. You just drag and drop and you will see the snippet, filter data table snippet, and you can see first, second, third, this kind of drop down and some configuration, okay. So let's see how does it look when you by default look into the preview part, okay, to better understand what is the use case where it will be useful. Okay. So you can see basically these are the view grid, okay, and these are the explicit filter which you can use, which can directly filter this grid source. This grid source is nothing but data table. This could be any plugin response as well, or it could be your data collection, or it could be your data table, okay. And what it does is just take input from this drop down, and when you click on filter table, it will filter the record, and it can have additional filters as well. Let's say on the alphabet A, now you try to search for the second value, that is 2. So it will filter, narrow down your filter, okay. And as soon as you click clear the filter, it will clear all the filter, right? So on that front, okay, so let me, I have just created one small POC to better understand, give you some scenarios, okay, when to use that. So basically, let me quickly walk through with the configuration. So here you can see at the top, whenever you will move that snippet, you will see few drop downs. So I have customized first, second, third to with my data table column name, okay. And let me, so basically here I'm trying to create a use case. So let's say you are maintaining inventory for all the patient who has visited to your clinic, okay, and you want to just provide the dashboard. So next time anyone come, you can see when they have last visited, you can filter by gender, or you can filter by their profession, other thing, okay. So you can see this data table, okay. And here I am having first name, last name, age, profession, gender, and last visited. These are the 6 columns, okay. The key part is that okay, so the name what you are giving here in the data table, that's the same name you need to give it to your drop down, okay. So you can see it's a first name, and subsequently it is a last name, okay. If you are going to do this, okay, so you need not to further do the rename and unnecessary complex manipulation with the field name to get this working. So this is the only key point which you need to keep in your mind when you are using this snippet. Otherwise it's a straightforward. So you can see this is the initializer, what it does, okay. So as soon as your page loads, okay, it goes and just call data workflow filter data table, and the second workflow is responsible to populate all your filter drop down, okay. So if I go to this DW set drop down values, okay. So first let me show you this configuration of this drop down, okay. So this is the first name, and you can see we are taking one hidden variable that is populated as a unique first name, and it will keep all the unique values of the first name, and the value property and the label path is equal to what is your DT column name, okay. Similar to if for all other drop downs, I am having multiple unique hidden fields which will store unique values of subsequent filters. Okay, and what it does, okay, so if you go to the DWF set drop down values, okay, so basically what it does, let me zoom in. You can see this is the input, that is your DT. It takes the unique. Okay, in unique you provide the first name, so it will fetch all the values from the first name column and make a remove all the duplicate values, and it will set into the unique first name. That is so source for your first drop down. Okay, similarly for others, last name, age, and all 6. Okay, so this is responsible to populate all your drop down values, and then you can see it is calling this data workflow, okay, to filter the data. So basically here what it is doing, it is taking group input, okay, where you can see it takes all the input values, okay, from the drop down. Okay, it might be selected or it might be empty. So it is taking first name, last name, age, profession, gender, and last visited. So what it does, it just create one object, and this node converts that object to the table. Okay, and then this filter node is responsible to removing all the empty filters. Okay, so basically at the initial, it may be like you are only applying filter on the first name, then rest of the values will be empty. So it will remove all those entries from this table and take only values where there are some values. Okay, so on that, if there is value, let's say you have selected first name as John. Okay, it will create a formula field where it will map key equal to value. Okay, so if there are multiple for multiple fields, so there will be, for each node there will be a formula node within that array. Okay, now here what we are doing, so now you are having one field which is the formula, and we can say the first name equal to John, age equal to 45. So now those values will be converted into an array, and then we need to make a join using the comma separated. So it will become where value equal first name equal to John, comma, age equal to 45. Okay, and then here we are using the AND operator. Okay, and where we will pass all those values. Okay, so you can see in the AND you can pass any number of values. So basically this filter works with AND condition, not OR condition. Okay, and now here in this filter we are just passing the input. Input is DT. Here we are converting all the field to string. Okay, because this filter is working as a string, and if there is any number, let's say 25, 45, that will not be filtered. So for that you need to just convert into this string, and after that this will be this will this input will go into the left node, and this argument, filter argument, will go in the top node, and it will give you the filtered array. Okay, that will be populated. That is the source of your grid. Okay, so you can see here this filter array is source of your grid, and it will update the data. Okay, and let me quickly show you that the console output. So you can see if I'm going to click on, let's say, John. Okay, and click on filter, you can see first it is creating the objects. Here it is taking first name as John, then it is converting into the key value pair, first name John, then it is adding one formula. Okay, that is nothing but first name equal to John, and then this will be added to AND operator, and you can see the final output as first name and this. Okay, if I clear filter, it will show all the records, and let's say I'm filtering by IT profession. Okay, so you see 2 records, and further you can put like 45. So it takes both the operator, and here you can see in AND operator is equal to 45, comma, profession equal to IT professional. Okay. So that is more on this snippet side. Coming to use. Okay, so basically you might have a common question: why can't we use inline filter? Okay, to filter these values. So basically idea is that if you are going to use the inline filter, okay, so sometimes you might be having a 10 columns, okay, but you are going to display only 4 columns on the front end, but you need a filter on some additional columns. So that is not possible with your inline filtering. And also if your data is using server-side pagination, so that local filter will not work. So in both the cases, this is a great tool, great snippet to continue with, and it's a very straightforward to implement. So that's all from my side. Any query, any question?
Great. Thanks so much, Manish. And thank you again to all of our presenters. I think this is our most fully loaded success hour we've done yet, with 4 demos and some updates on the marketplace. And we've gone into overtime here. So I'm not seeing any open questions. We had one question that we didn't have time for that I encouraged to be asked on the Community Hub. Actually, one just came in, so we'll see if there's anything else. We are out of time, but the Community Hub is always on. So for those of you who are already Unqork creators, if you're a customer or partner of ours, please go to community.unqork.com, ask the question. You'll have the people you've seen today, our subject matter experts, as well as others from the community to help you out. Yeah, so a question here for follow-up speakers, I'll reach out to you. Interested in sharing these POCs for people to look a little bit more closely. So if you're able to share that, maybe we'll see if we can link to where these are in the training environment so people can take a look at the examples that you gave in more detail. That's a great suggestion from Veena. But otherwise, the last thing I want to add is all of these demos came from our community members. And as I mentioned earlier, all of them were inspired by questions on our community. So by asking your questions, by helping out, you are helping make things better for all Unqork creators as we learn and scale together. But I dropped a link for those here on Zoom with us into the chat of how you can sign up to give these demos on future success hours or other Twitch live streams. If you want to talk to Nick, our uncoder, things like that. Our intern just built a brand new community contribution portal where you can sign up to participate in some other things beyond just the posts on the Community Hub. So more details on the Community Hub soon for that. So check there for the latest, and we will see you, as I like to say, we'll see you on the internet, whether that's here for a future Twitch live stream later this week, or a community event, or the various conversations we're having over on the Community Hub. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks to all of my colleagues and the subject matter experts who joined as panelists. And thanks to all of you for watching. Have a good one.
Thank you.